Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Conquest showed up during the Invincible War? Not after, not later, but right in the middle of the chaos. The battle where hundreds of alternate Invincibles invaded Earth, leaving it on the edge of total destruction. Now imagine Conquest falling from the sky in that exact moment. The story begins the same way it did in the original timeline. Mark is overwhelmed. Alternate versions of himself are attacking from every direction. The Guardians are barely holding on. Cities are burning. Adam Eve is using everything she has just to slow them down. And Cecil is watching helplessly from his command center, trying to coordinate a response against hundreds of villains who all look exactly like the same teenage boy. And then the sky cracks. A red streak flashes through the clouds, and from the upper atmosphere, a single figure breaks through Earth's defenses. Not with an army, not with a strategy, but with a smile. It's Conquest, and he's not here to help Earth or stop the war. He's here for Mark, except this time, there are too many of them, so he doesn't even know which one is real at first. But that doesn't matter, because to Conquest, all these copies are an embarrassment, a stain on Viltrumite pride. Without hesitation, he starts killing them. Alternate Invincibles who just spent hours wiping out Earth's greatest heroes suddenly find themselves being ripped apart by something much stronger, something they weren't prepared for. Conquest sees no value in these weaker versions, and one by one, he crushes them. Bones cracking, bodies torn apart. No mercy, not even a pause. Cecil has no idea what to make of this at first. He watches as one of Earth's worst enemies suddenly becomes the only force capable of thinning out the invaders. But it's not a victory, it's a massacre. And the real Mark sees all of it happening from across the battlefield, realizing that the war has changed. At this point, Mark is already injured. He's exhausted from hours of non-stop fighting, and he's barely staying conscious. But he knows if Conquest stays in the battle, there won't be anything left. Not heroes, not villains, not Earth. So Mark makes a choice. He signals Eve to hold back and flies straight toward the slaughter. This is where things start to spiral. Conquest notices him immediately because he knows which one is the real Mark. And without any words, he charges in, fists flying, no buildup, no speech. Just brutal impact. The two clash in midair, and the sound alone shatters glass for miles around. Mark tries to hold his own, but Conquest isn't like the others, probably in this timeline. Even though for Conquest's desire for power, he sees the amount of opponents he has to face, and does not overestimate Mark in this timeline, sensing the bad situation. This time, Mark is the one at a disadvantage. The fight lasts maybe a minute. Mark throws everything he has at Conquest. Every punch, every blast of power, every ounce of willpower, but it's not enough. Conquest grabs him mid-swing, slams him into the ground, and nearly breaks his spine with one strike. Mark screams, and Eve hears it from across the city. She rushes in, but Conquest waves her away with a single flick of his hand, sending her crashing into a skyscraper. And then he speaks. Just one word, disappointment. That's all he says before crushing Mark's ribs and leaving him unconscious, bleeding out and broken. From there, the battlefield shifts. Conquest begins hunting the remaining alternate Marks, not because they're a threat, but because he enjoys it. Earth's defenders can only watch as the same force that just killed their enemies starts wiping out what's left of their world. It's not strategy anymore, it's annihilation. Cecil tries to call in every contingency plan, every weapon they have, but nothing works. Earth falls in days, not weeks, not months. Days. Conquest establishes total control of the planet for the Viltrumite Empire, and when word reaches Thrag that Earth has been conquered ahead of schedule, he's not angry, he's impressed. In this version of the story, the Viltrumites don't wait. They send a full fleet immediately and begin the colonization process years earlier than planned. Humans become slaves. Hybrids are forced into breeding programs, and resistance is crushed before it can even start. The Guardians are wiped out. Eve disappears, and Cecil is executed publicly to send a message. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.